My salvation is nearer to come, and my righteousness to be revealed.
He tells us to keep something, keep the judgments. He said, my salvation is near. So that lets us know that once people tell you, oh, I've been saved, they lying. The salvation ain't here yet. He said, he that endure to the what? Shall be what? Saved. The end ain't got here. So when people tell you, I've been saved since I was 16 years old, you should look at them and you liar. Don't tell them, but say you lying. Say, brother, ain't nobody saved right now. We trying to make that change, make that judgment day in the first resurrection to be saved. Go ahead.
Blessed is the man that doeth this, and the Son of Man that layeth hold on it.
He said, blessed now. The man, meaning one man too. She's just a man with a womb. He said, a man that doeth this and lay hold on it, meaning that you got to hold it. Hold on to it, because you got these people out here who will take it from you. They will make it easy for you. They will make it easy. Go ahead.
That keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hand from doing any evil.
That's what he said right here. This is the blessed part. Hold on to it. Keeping the Sabbath from polluting it and doing evil. And you're going to find out what's evil on the Sabbath. You say, man, that's evil? You're going to check that too. Go ahead.
Neither let the son of the stranger that has joined himself to the Lord speak, saying, the Lord has utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, behold, I am a dry tree.
He said, neither let the son of a stranger, that's the other nations that are not Israel, the white, the African, the Chinese, the European, all these other nations. This Sabbath day is for all people and all generations. Don't let no stranger say that he's separated from it. If he take hold of the Sabbath, he's going to get the same results. Same results. Jump down to verse 6. Go ahead.
Also the sons of the stranger that join themselves to the Lord,
yes, sir,
to serve him and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servants. Everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and taketh hold of my covenants.
He talking about the stranger. What he gonna provide for them? Go ahead.
Even them will I bring to my holy mountain, and make them joyful in my house of prayer.
You see what he said? Bring even them. Talking about the strangers, I'm going to bring to my holy mountain. Not to heaven now. We ain't going to heaven. There's no such thing. The Father and Jesus coming here. He said in Jerusalem, his house going to be in Jerusalem. He said, I'm going to bring you to my house. Go ahead.
Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar.
Yes, sir.
For mine house shall be called an house of prayer for all people.
For all people. Going to be called a house of prayer. Jump down to verse 10. This is why I want to let you know about these preachers that don't tell you about the Sabbath, what God called them. I want to call them this first, but I'm going to let the book call them this first. Go ahead.
His watchmen are blind. They are ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark, sleeping, laying down, loving to slumber. The
preacher that's standing where I'm standing, if he ain't teaching you about the Sabbath and the law, he's a dumb, ignorant dog. A dog. That's what the book say, right?
Amen.
So when I say it, like, oh man, you just too harsh. Go ahead.
Yea, they are greedy dogs.
No, he ain't said it again, did he?
He said it again.
They greedy. How they greedy?
Which can never have enough.
They can't have enough of your tithe money. They can't have enough of your offering. They can't have enough of you coming and cooking on the Sabbath day, making up all these different type of events for the day to make Sunday perfect. Greedy dogs. Because they know if they get you feeling good, you're going to bring that bread. You're going to bring it. Go ahead.
And they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, every one for his gain from his quarter.
Everybody say, you ask some people to preach about the Sabbath, they know a little bit about the Sabbath now. But they're going to say, no, I can't tell them that now. You know why? Because they know Sunday is the perfect day for them to collect that check. They ain't going to mess up their money. Period. and it should be like that. It shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't be preaching for money. That's why most of our people, we don't take salaries here. We work. Most of the pastors that worship on Sunday, they don't work, y'all. Especially the big time, they call themselves businessmen. But they living off the gospel. They teaching lies. It ain't no gospel, excuse me, it ain't no gospel. They telling you you're a counterfeit gospel. Counterfeit. Well, let's go to Matthew chapter 28. Let me show you something here. You know, most people say, well, you should hear one scripture in the New Testament. We got New Testament Sabbath day stuff. It's all over this book. Matthew chapter 28, verse 1. This is what all the people always say. The reason why we keep Sunday because Jesus resurrected up on Sunday. You a lie. You want to resurrect him on Sunday? We're going to find out when he was resurrected up. Matthew 28:1. Go ahead.
In the end of the Sabbath.
Hold up. I want to slow this down. He said, in the end of the Sabbath. So he telling you the time. The Sabbath is over. Like Sabbath going to be over to the end tonight when the sun go down. Go ahead.
In the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week.
So for people don't know, the first day of God didn't put names on week, but one was the Sabbath. They would number 1, 2, 3, all the way down to 6. That's the first day of the week. That's Sunday. At the end of the Sabbath, this is the resurrection of Jesus right here. And then Mary Magdalene and Mary going to come to the tomb. They're going to find something out here. Go ahead.
Came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre.
So this is at the end of the Sabbath now. Sabbath gone. They coming on the first day of the week. This is what they take you here. They're saying that the reason why we keep Sunday because Jesus was resurrected up. We're going to find out when he was resurrected up. Go ahead.
And behold, there was a great earthquake. For the angel of the Lord descended from heaven.
Yes, sir.
And came and rolled back the stone from the door and sat upon it.
Go ahead.
His countenance was like lightning, and his raiment white as snow.
So this angel gonna come and tell him something. Go ahead.
And for fear of him, the keepers did shake.
Yes, sir.
And became as dead men.
I bet I would have been shaking too. We see an angel with 4 faces up there. Go ahead.
And the angel answered and said unto the woman, Fear not ye, for I know that ye seek Jesus, which was crucified.
Go ahead.
He is not here, for he is risen, as he said. Come, see the place where the Lord lay.
Wait a minute now. The angels had to tell them that Jesus wasn't here. At the end of the Sabbath, then they came. And they found out Jesus wasn't there. So when was he resurrected up? On the Sabbath. On the Sabbath. Not Sunday. So you can get that lie out of here. You might say, oh, go ahead.
And go quickly and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead.
Yes, sir. Go quickly and tell them.
And he beheld, he goeth before you into Galilee. There shall ye see him. Lo, I have told you.
This is what the angels told Mary Magdalene and Mary. Told them, go tell them quickly. He's risen. He gone. Now let's go to Acts chapter 13. Acts 13. Acts 13. You'll find the 7 in a minute. Trails off each other. Acts 13. Let's go look at Paul. Don't work with this. Acts 13 and verse 13. The Sabbath is really, really important. Really important. Verse 13, go ahead.
Now, when Paul and his company loosed from Patmos, they came to Perga in Pamphylia, and John departed from them, returned to Jerusalem.
This is when Paul returned to Jerusalem to do something. Go ahead.
But when they departed from Perga, they came to Antioch in Pisidia, and went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and sat down.
So they're going in the synagogue on the Sabbath day. If you don't know what synagogue is, it's talking about the church. Sat down to do what? Jump down to verse, where we at, Ephesians 14?
Yes, sir.
Okay, jump down to verse 14. 42, excuse me. Go ahead.
And when the Jews were gone out of the synagogue, the Gentiles besought that these words might be preached to them the next Sabbath.
Wait a minute. So we understand that Paul was in the church on the Sabbath. Why aren't these pastors in the church on the Sabbath? They following another God. You can do history for yourself and understand why they worship on the Sabbath. In 321 AD, a Roman ruler by the name of Emperor Constantine changed the Sabbath day from Saturday, which is the Sabbath day, to the first day. Why? Because he was a sun worshiper.
Amen.
He worshiped the sun.
That's right.
So to escape persecution and killings from Constantine, a lot of our people converted over to Sunday worship. That's where it all started at. Go ahead.
Verse 43. Now when the congregation was broken up, many of the Jews and religious proselytes followed Paul and Barnabas, who, speaking to them, persuaded them to continue in the grace of God.
Go ahead.
And the next Sabbath day came almost the whole city together to hear the word of God.
This is how it's supposed to be. The next Sabbath day, they came to listen. So why didn't come Sunday, the next day? They came on the Sabbath. They said the next Sabbath because they know 6 days you got to work. And on the 7th day, this is where we're supposed to gather and have a holy convocation. God already etched that out in stone in Genesis. In the Old Testament, this is what you must do. You finished with that?
Yes, sir.
Let's go back to Isaiah. Just want to show you what Paul did. Isaiah 66. It's all over the Bible. The Sabbath day should be kept in all generations. All generations. Isaiah 66. Start with verse 15. Change the mic on. Isaiah 66, and we're going to read verse 15. Then we're going to read verse 22. Now this is the coming of the Lord. Let's see if we're dealing with this thing. Let's see if Jesus is going to deal with the Sabbath and his in the new generation and when the new earth hits. Verse 15. Go ahead.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire.
Yes, sir.
And with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire.
The Lord coming back with all those angels because he's mad. Because he's going to kill up anybody that's not worshiping on the Sabbath, anybody that's eating swine flesh, anybody that's breaking this law, period. He's going to kill them all. So if you eat swine flesh, you sit up at night worshiping on the Sabbath, you taking part of these holy days, this is what's going to happen to you. Jump down to verse 22. Let's see, once he gonna already did all this killing right here, and he gonna come in Jerusalem. And this is what he gonna do. Go ahead.
For as the new heavens and the new earth.
So he giving us a time frame here. This is when he destroyed everything and made everything new. Let's see if he's still gonna be keeping the Sabbath. Go ahead.
For as the new heaven and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me,
yes,
says
sir.
the Lord.
Go
So
ahead.
shall your seed and your name remain. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, says the Lord.
So wait a minute, we still gonna be worshiping on the Sabbath? In the New Jerusalem, when he created everything new? Yes. So you're supposed to be practicing now. Just like most people practice lifting weights, practice working out to get a result, get a strong body, a healthy body, and work out. So we practicing to get this holy body. That's what I'm practicing to get, this holy body. And he says right here, he said, we're going to be working from one Sabbath to the next.
Yes.
And the Sabbath is the seventh day. Let's go back to Leviticus chapter 23. Like I said before, we talked about the holy days also. We just dealing with the weekly Sabbath right there. We got to know what we're doing. Leviticus chapter 23. Leviticus chapter 23. Now we get into the holy days. This is the reason, this is the time of the year where we're going to have our feast. Our first feast coming up is Passover. I think that's what, 18th?
Yes.
18th, that evening. That's going to be like on a Thursday evening right here. But we're going to have the first night of the Feast of Unleavened Bread at the Holiday Inn Express where we're going to have our celebration. So this is the time, this is the reason why we're doing this, because the Lord told us to remember these feast days. Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 4. Go ahead.
These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons.
See, God has a season. Understand this, he got seasons, he got dates. He told us the season. Folks said, how are we going to know when the season? Because it's springtime when everything grows back. We find the first new moon in the spring. And we count in 14 days, that's when we know when we're supposed to take the Passover. And folks say, man, how you know that the spring? We doing the best we can. That's all you got. I'm trying. Guys, you got a lot of Hebrews out here celebrating the holy days on different days. That ain't the problem. The problem is you ain't doing it. That's the problem. Because when 3.5 years we're in the wilderness, Jesus is going to teach us the correct day. He going to teach us correctly what we're supposed to do. Well, how you going to get in here when you ain't doing it now? Go ahead, brother.
Verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month at evening is the Lord's Passover.
This is the calendar right here. The calendar do not start in God's book on January 1. That's celebrating the God of Janus, God of two faces, the open and closing the door. Do your own research on that. This can come from God. The new month start in spring, which is around March, end of March, and beginning of April. That's when we start our count, when we find the new moon. Go ahead.
And on the 15th day of the same month is the Feast of Unleavened Bread unto the Lord. 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread.
Understand this, 7 days you must eat unleavened bread, meaning that we don't eat bread with yeast in it, but we eat unleavened bread. You gotta make sure you understand that when we coming up on the feast. For 7 days, you're not supposed to eat bread that rises. We're not talking about corn chips. We're not talking about all this other stuff with yeast in it. We're talking about bread. You don't eat bread that rises. You got to be unleavened. You got to eat an unleavened cracker every day. That's 7 days. No bread with yeast in it. These are the instructions. Amen. We finished with that?
Yes, sir.
Let's get a little more detail on the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Let's go to Exodus chapter 12 and verse 11. We just want to make sure y'all understand what you're doing. This is a preview of the Feast of the Lord. We'll figure it out. Exodus chapter 12, we're going to start with verse 11. Go ahead.
And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand. And ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover.
When we were coming out of Egypt at the time, after 400 years under Pharaoh, we would come out of Egypt on the Passover. When the Passover hit, the next morning we were out of there. This is why we understand what we're doing. But on the Passover, we had to do something so our firstborn wouldn't get killed. We're talking about the firstborn of a child and the firstborn of an animal. That's right. If you didn't do this, you will be killed. Your firstborn will be killed. Go ahead.
For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. And against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord.
It was an execution on that night. If you don't have that blood up on your doorpost of your house, your firstborn child will die. Your firstborn of your cattle will die. This is the one that broke Pharaoh back when God killed his child. He said, man, let's get him out of here. But it's just a little preview. We're going to investigate this on that time of Feast on Unleavened Bread. We're going to go a little deeper. Go ahead.
And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where you are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you. And the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt.
See, God had to see something. That's why he called it Passover. That death angel rolled through that city, and he saw the blood. He said, okay, I got to pass over that house. Okay, I see the blood right here. I got to pass over that. Oh, she don't have blood. He don't have blood. So he killed that firstborn in the house. If I was there, I'd been dead if my mom and dad didn't put the blood on the doorpost. And whatever we had cattle, the firstborn would ever be dead.
That's right.
This is the reason why they call it Passover, because the death angel passed over the house that had the blood. And we still got to keep the Passover today. Go ahead, brother.
And this day shall be upon you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever.
He said throughout your generation, and he said ordinance. Ordinance got rules. We're not just keeping it just because, we're not just keeping it any kind of way. We understand what we're supposed to be doing, which is on the Feast of Unleavened Bread. We make sure we don't eat no bread with yeast in it. We eat an unleavened cracker every day. We take the Passover, we take it at the evening. We don't take it at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. We follow what thus says the Lord. He said at evening, amen, you eat the bread and wine. That's why we do it at night. Understand this. Go ahead.
15. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel.
He said, I'm going to cut you off. What do you mean cut you off? That means death. He don't see you. He do not see you. And when the time he comes back, he's going to kill you. Period. I don't see you. 7 days you supposed to eat unleavened bread. 7 days you not supposed to eat bread with yeast in it. Bread. Go ahead.
And in the first day there shall be an holy convocation.
They go to gather again.
And in the 7th day there shall be an holy convocation.
We still got to gather on those days. Come together. Not everybody doing their thing in their house, looking at the TV, watching Gooey, watching all this. You got a congregation inside of your town, you need to be there. That's a law. That's a law. Gathering, that's a holy convocation. Go ahead.
No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you.
He said, don't do no work, enjoy yourself. It's a time of enjoyment. We eating. We're going to have food, we're going to have drinks, so make sure everybody enjoy themselves. Period. Go ahead.
And ye shall observe the Feast of Unleavened Bread.
Yes, sir.
For in this selfsame day have I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall ye observe this day in your generation by an ordinance forever.
See, we know why we are keeping these feasts, because we know our people, which are the Israelites, were taken out of 400-year worth of bondage on the Pharaoh house, and we were taken into the wilderness. And then from the wilderness, we went into the promised land. We understand that. So we're not just doing it just because y'all come here to hear what I got to say. We're reading the ordinances. He said, keep this in all generations. All generations. Let's go to Nehemiah. If you don't know what Nehemiah is, let's go back to your table of contents right behind Ezra Chronicles. Nehemiah chapter 13. I'm going to show you the evil that God is talking about on the Sabbath day that we're not supposed to be doing. Evil. Nehemiah 13, we'll start at verse 15. All this stuff we put in the Bible so we can read. But you know what Pastor on the Sunday say? That's the Old Testament. They've been done away with. We ain't got to read that no more. It all coincides together. It running together. Sabbath and all the Old Testament, New Testament. We understand what we must do. Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 15. Go ahead, brother.
In those days saw I in Judah some treading wine presses on the Sabbath.
Yes, sir.
And bringing in sheaves and lading asses, as also wine, grapes, and figs, and all manner of burdens which they brought into Jerusalem on the Sabbath day. And I testified against them in the day wherein they sold victuals.
He said, look, I saw all this stuff which is they buying, they selling, they on the Sabbath day. And he said, this is wrong. He said, he testified this. Let me show you how wrong it is. Keep going.
There dwelt men of Tyre also therein, which brought fish and all manner of ware, sold on the Sabbath unto the children of Judah, and in Jerusalem.
They doing the same thing in this land. They open Burger King on the Sabbath. They open McDonald's on the Sabbath. Target, Walmart on the Sabbath. People going in there, they buy it. Bringing all kind of burdens on the Sabbath. This is a great evil. Let me show you. Go ahead.
Then I contended with the nobles of Judah, and said unto them, what evil thing is this that ye do, and profane the Sabbath day?
You see what he's saying? He said, what evil thing? Folks looking for somebody to be killed. People looking at somebody to be murdered or stealing something. No, he said, this is evil when you buy and sell on the Sabbath day. You got to get everything done in 6 days. And on the 7th day, God wants you to rest. That's right. Get into this book. Power up for the next week. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 18, did not your fathers thus, and did not our God bring all this evil upon us?
Yes, sir.
And upon this city? Yet ye bring more wrath upon Israel by profaning the Sabbath.
This is why you got so much destruction in the world today. Because everybody is doing whatever they want to do on the Lord's day. On the Lord's day. He said, man, I can't operate in that mess. So he let the devil have us. Go ahead.
And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath, I commanded that the gates should be shut, and charged that they should not be opened till after the Sabbath.
Yes, sir.
And some of my servants set I at the gates, that there should no burden be brought in on the Sabbath day.
So Nehemiah took some servants and put outside the gate, and he shut the gate. He told them, look, y'all ain't coming here to profane the Sabbath. I'm shutting y'all off. But listen what happened here. Go ahead.
So the merchants and sellers of all kind of ware lodged without Jerusalem once or twice.
Yes, sir.
Then I testified against them, and said unto them, why lodge ye about the wall? If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you.
Nehemiah said, they're going to put these jumper cables on you. Come out here again and see what happens. This is what he telling them. I'm going to put these jumper cables on. I'm going to hit you. Ain't too many people saying that today. Well, we can't say that they're not enemy land, but the thing is, this is an example he's giving us. Nehemiah knows how important this is. He said, look, man, God gave this to me to handle. Look, don't come in here and try to buy and sell on this day around Jerusalem. I'm going to put my hands on you. Go ahead.
From that time forth came they no more on the Sabbath.
I bet they did. See, people got to understand the service of God wasn't no punks now. This is Israel. We some of the strongest, powerful people in the world. God picked the right one. We got everything that the world wants. We got the best skin, best hair. We got the best mind. We got it all. But guess what we don't have? We don't have direction. They want to keep us separated. Because they know if you come together, they're going to have to reckon with you all.
Come on.
They're going to have to reckon with you all.
Amen, brother.
Go ahead, brother.
Verse 22. And I commanded the Levites that they should cleanse themselves.
Yes, sir.
And that they should come and keep the gates to sanctify the Sabbath day.
Mm-hmm.
Remember me, O my God, concerning this also.